Okay, I'm Scotty Rock.
And I'm Nate Danger.
Well, buddy, and today we're talking about the new Motley Crue.
Dogs of War.
Dogs of War.
Holy.
What are your thoughts, man?
I went into listening to this. I went in with a really open mind. I know so many people are expecting some live wire, some girls. One of my favorite albums is Generation Swine. What the fuck? So I went into this with an open mind and then said, look, I love John 5. I think he's a great fit, honestly. Lots of people would probably disagree with me. And I loved Mick Mars. Mick Mars is, I think, the perfect guitarist for Motley Crue. But whatever happened. John 5's in the band. And I was thoroughly impressed with this release.
Okay, there's a lot of hate going on the internet, on comments and stuff. But I'm with Danger on this one. I dig this tune.
I love it.
I know everyone's expecting a certain version of Motley Crue, and part of it's true that without Mick, is it really Crue? But it was a Crue without Vince, was a Crue without Tommy. Lee. And John 5 has a pedigree of playing with Rob Zombie. He did a David Lee Roth album.
Marilyn Manson.
He did an album with Rob Halford from Judas Priest, that industrial one. But
I was a big Manson fan, so I love John 5.
He's played with Manson.
Yeah.
So he's got some skill. It's not like he's the new kid on the block or anything.
Great guitar player.
So Motley Crue, here's his history with John 5. John 5 co-wrote the 3 tunes on the Dirt soundtrack.
Oh my god.
Singles that were released after the
No,
Dirt
like
movie?
the Dirt soundtrack.
Yeah.
Album has the Dirt. Give me the dirt.
Give me the dirt. Just give me the dirt. Just give me what I want.
They co-wrote that with that John 5. Crash and Burn is the one song at the end of the album. And it sounds a little bit like this song, and there's another song I can't remember.
I didn't really like those
And then
songs.
Like a Virgin. Yeah, so anyways, I'm not sure if this is John 5's debut with Motley Crue is what I'm saying. Because he co-wrote these songs, and he was obviously next in line. And he probably co-wrote them because they're in the studio, right?
It sounds like they've been trying to get rid of Mick Mars for years.
For years, yeah. So anyways, they did all these new tracks with Bob Rock, and Bob Rock's style of producing is like very that verse will go with this, and they'll cut it and paste it together.
Okay.
Kind of songwriting style. So that's what we're walking into with Dogs of War.
Dogs of War. Probably, I'd say, top 5, for sure, of all time.
Okay, what's your first impression? So the intro comes in, John 5, and a big drum fill, eh?
I like the intro. I think the guitar work is a really, really cool riff. Mm-hmm. Not sure exactly what it reminds me. This whole song, and we've talked in the past, the different parts sound like they're all heavily taken or influenced by other material. And I can't figure out exactly what that guitar riff reminds me of, but it does remind me of something.
Yep.
But I like it. I think it's great.
I wasn't a fan of the bastard part right at the start.
Bastards.
When did Bastard come out? 1984?
Yeah. Had a whole song about it.
But the part that really annoys me in the mix is that it's kind of a whisper, but yet it's so loud in the mix. It's like up there, like way too prominent. If they would have held it back, it might not have been as bad, but the whole bastard. The song starts off on a bad foot.
I would say. I think they could have ditched that. I get the sentiment of the song and how like F you society or government, whoever's holding you back.
That's the worst part of this song, for me.
For me too. I didn't dig it. It was trying to be too edgy, and I think they're kind of past that.
Grow up.
Yeah. Right.
Like,
grow up, Motley Crue.
Seriously.
And it kind of goes into that new metal type riff, and we talked about it. I think we said it was like a Finger 11 riff.
If you haven't heard Finger 11, go listen to Finger 11.
Greatest of the Blue Skies.
Probably
we should cut to that song. Just
Drag You Down or something by Finger 11.
Yeah.
It's got that whole
yeah. So for sure. So then from there it goes into the verse.
Don't let the dogs of war come knocking at your door as we're crawling.
And I like the verse, how he sings.
Love it.
I love that sort of halftime Tommy Lee drum groove thing, how he kind of hangs on that one note, you know, and the cymbals just sound so awesome. It's like a classic Crue part. Different melody for Vince to sing, but I dig it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. This is where I think we're on the same page. I thought it was awesome. I think Vince's voice sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about, oh, it's auto-tuned, it's whatever. Whatever.
Of course it is.
It's Vince's voice, and he sounds pretty awesome.
And that's how you produce records, right? Make it sound better than it really is.
Yeah.
So that's the whole point. So I get that, you know. But was Vince ever a really great singer?
No.
He was a great.
I've
frontman.
seen Motley Crue more than any other band live. I've probably seen them 9-10 times in my life live. And Vince has never been great.
No.
Except when he's got lots of good backing tracks.
Yeah. So
other than Carnival of Sins. That was a great tour.
yeah, that was a good tour. I have that on DVD.
Oh, so good.
It's awesome. So Vince Neil still can't really sing, but whatever. He's the singer in the band. So all you
Crue heads.
all you Crue heads that didn't like the John Corabi version.
John
you got-
Corabi. I love John Corabi.
I love John Corabi and that Motley Crue album. That's another.
And the Scream.
And the Scream. That's a totally another conversation. Hey, I love that album.
That's the best album.
Hands down. Anyways, so my favorite part of the Dogs of War is right after the verse. It goes whoa, whoa.
Woes.
I love woes. I love woes. Yes. Uh-huhs.
Sucker for woes.
Yeah, man. So that makes it a big like anthem for me, you know, and that's,
Yes.
makes it a bit classic Crue.
I like
it goes
it.
from like
I
the
like
weird moody Crue verse to like that whoa, whoa, whoa. I love that part. Then back into the verse again.
Back into the verse.
Does the same riff and then goes back to the woes and then what's the chorus? Down. Goes into the down part. I like that.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
It sticks in my head. I've listened to this song over and over now. It is one of my regulars.
Yeah.
Do I think it's original? No. Do I think it's a fun listen? Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
I do.
I was with this Motley Crue song. I could see how people were disappointed. They're expecting a certain version of Motley Crue, and it's just slightly different, but it still has a lot of like hallmarks of actual Crue.
Everyone's got this perception of what it's going to be, you know, and I think there was gonna be some pushback anyway from the Crue heads that they got a new guitar player. Lots of people don't like what went down with Mick Mars and Motley Crue, and you know now there's lawsuits and whatever else. So.
Right. From there, it goes into the John 5 guitar solo. What are your thoughts? I mean, obviously he's a fantastic guitar player, but
I loved it. I thought the solo was awesome. You've kind of enlightened me on the solo, completely like made me think differently about it.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts?
Okay, well, I'm listening to the solo, and as a guitar player that grew up with the Crue, I've heard every solo a million times over. But to me, it sounds like Nicky Sixx was like, "Hey, John 5, play some Mick Mars styled riffs." So he comes in with like the hammer-on pull-off things, and then it goes into the whammy bar dive bar thing, which Mick does.
Exactly.
And then he does like the descending like single note, which is on the end of Girls, Girls, Girls kind of style. And then he goes into some hammer-on pull-offs going up the neck. Hey, just like you know what I mean? That to me sounded like a Mick Mars, and then it ends with like, for me, the famous Mick Mars tremolo picking, where he's and it just sounds like, hey, John 5, play a Mick Mars solo, but play it kind of. Listen.
Honestly, it makes sense now because I never realized that. I never thought that.
Yeah.
It wasn't my perspective, but to come in now that you say it, I'm like, it's like putting all the pieces of the puzzle together.
So it's either like closing the door on Mick Mars a little bit and introducing John 5 at the same time.
Yeah.
But I feel it's a bit of a dig.
Trying to bring those fans back in,
Yep.
saying it's not that different,
That's true.
right? It's kind of the same.
Well, that's the other part of it. Hey, it's like
It's the younger
younger, cooler version
Blonder.
of Mick Mars.
Mick Mars.
Yeah.
I will stand the ground. I will.
Good shot.
This is. I was thinking, where do I know this from? This
Yeah.
is like. It sounds like something they've taken it from somewhere.
It's like Electric Funeral from Black
Sabbath. Sabbath, man.
Yeah.
Totally sounds like Electric Funeral at the 2 minute and 20
somewhere
second
there.
mark or whatever. It just. Okay, so it all kind of sounds like regurgitated from other bands that they put together and piecemealed this song together.
Okay, but do you think they said, "Oh, that sounds like Black Sabbath," or do you think it's like?
No, I don't think it was done intentionally.
No, I don't think so either. But it definitely has like that riff in it, and they even funny note at the end of that riff we were talking about, they kind of go into like the fuzz bass wah thing.
Oh yeah,
which is in Electric Funeral. Hey,
yes,
that's a big part of the
I
song.
love Electric Funeral.
Yeah.
I love Sabbath. By the way,
I
like
know.
Ozzy Osbourne Sabbath, that's my.
I love Ozzy Sabbath, but I love Ronnie James Dio fronted Sabbath. Because to me it was more like heavy metal with Sabbath, because they're singing about elves and mystical rainbows and things.
Hey,
Okay.
we got to do an episode on Dio.
Oh man, Dio, Sabbath, the whole thing.
Dio.
Anyway, Sabbath had a ton of great riffs, and they also had a bunch of shitty songs too.
Come on.
A couple albums. Yeah, for real. That Technical Ecstasy, they did that some weird
I like that.
songs on there. But anyways, long story short, Dogs of War,
Okay,
yay or nay, man? Like we
you know what? I'm 100% yay on this song. Do I think they should have taken the Bastards out at the front?
yes.
Yes. Overall, though, I think it's a good track. It's a good song.
I think it's a good song. I look at it as I liked more parts in the song than I didn't,
Yeah.
and so that made it for a fun listen. They kind of threw back to a bit of their old Motley Crue style sound, threw in some like copycat references. And
Still
I mean,
got some new age feel. You know, nobody's going back to 1985.
No,
And the song, I think, as far as a new Crue offering, way better than I would have expected.
yeah, 100%. So yeah, there you go, Motley Crue, Dogs of War. For me, it's a winner as well. And they're not going to put out any albums. Hey, it's just going to be singles from here on out. So hopefully they
Probably.
don't fall into the GNR putting out the B-sides.
This is better than any GNR.
Yeah, right.
GNR releases are brutal.
Okay,
Living it all the way. Time to fly, hit the sky like a mother.
I got a question for you, DJ. If this was on a previous Motley Crue album, which would it?
Generation Swine.
You think it would spin on Generation Swine?
It kind of.
Yeah, I think so too.
Am I wrong with that? I love Generation Swine.
Yeah, I did too, and I listened to it the other day, and I love it too, man.
It's good.
Except for that Tommy Lee song on there that he sings.
Brandon?
Cut it.
Yeah.